if we go back and look at DevOps, when DevOps started, like DevOps was this thing that like originally it was your team that ships a product is full stack, right? You don't have any external dependencies. I never work I worked at Disney for 6 years and that was very much not that. There's once you have a DevOps team, you've lost at DevOps in many ways, right? Like that's like the centralization of what should have been, split out around the company. And Disney, at least from my experience, was very centralized. And we had a database team and we had a network admin team and we had a compute team. And you centralize the expertise and then every service picks and chooses from those things. Amazon was the opposite. Amazon was exactly the opposite, where every service team was a two pizza team, or they call them service teams now. Is two pizza teams is the old word, but in general, like you have everyone you need to do the job. You don't have an SRE team that checks things that are live. The developers who wrote the code are the ones that are on call, and you don't have a DBA team. You have services that you rely on, right? Like you use RDS and all these other things internally because we just create those services, but it's a full stack team through and through. It's what I considered a true DevOps team, and seeing how much duplication there was across the board. Where it's like, wow, actually, having a DBA on every team is really expensive. Like that would be great because they're not needed all the time, but you have to be kind of a generalist at some point. You can't go as deep in some of those areas. And seeing if the shift is really, we're going to lose a lot of people and we want to maybe run things a little leaner, the leanest way to do that is to centralize the expertise. And you centralize who knows how to do something deeply, and then everyone picks off of their queue, right? You add another ticket to their queue, wait for it to come back, but things slow down because that queuing system just takes a little while. That also causes a lot of gaps. There's a lot of areas that get kind of fallen. Oh, I didn't know we were doing that before. As I saw a lot of teams in other places at Disney and other companies try to move to a DevOps model, they didn't realize the gaps. They didn't realize, oh, we actually need someone that's an expert in Terraform or in this other thing. And so we had to keep relying on like, hey, can we borrow that person from that team for a little longer? But then when it breaks, they're not on call for your service and you have to find someone that's an expert. And there's services, there's all these things. So it's like these shifts in organizational structure cause gaps. And as those gaps show up, there's things that slip through and you don't know who is responsible for it. And you always kind of either you don't know about it or you assume someone else is going to do it. And those are the things that cause a lot of that risk is once there's a gap